Hello people, how are you?
Hello Facebook, how are you?
My name is Serena.
This is Serena Vasegi.
I am the speak the American.
Yes, Serena is the speaker who can't speak and the writer who can't write.
My daughter Mary is very happy to you.
Right, so Serena's job is to motivate you, to inspire you, and to help you achieve your goals.
And you this around?
Yeah, I'm Jamila Doolin, and I'm Serena's right-hand woman.
Every book I speak, I educate.
Right, so Serena writes books, Serena speaks, Serena does coaching, he produces online classes, and Serena, you do all of this for what purpose? Right, so the whole reason for this is that Serena wants to motivate you, he wants to empower you, he wants to help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, and if you want to know more,
Yeah, you want to learn more about that? Of course you do. So you're going to go to serenav.com and you're going to learn all kinds more. Yeah, there's a description right there. If you scroll to the end, there it is. Right, and Serena, you're just shameless. So I'm going to repeat what Serena said. So I'm going to repeat what Serena just said, which is, give us a little social media love, a little likes, some comments, share it with your friends. And when I when I just happened to mention that Serena is shameless, his response was, of course, I have a marketing degree. So
If I don't do it, then would be a waste.
Right, so Serena's basic point is, if he's not shameless in his approach to getting the word out, that means his degree is for naught. Right. Really, the whole point is this. The better he does at marketing, the more people he can help. The better he can help them, the more people know about him. And that's his whole goal. Serena's whole goal is to help people, to motivate, to inspire, and to help them achieve their goals.
How many people love this life?
So here's today's question. Today's question is, how many of you out there actually love your lives?
And if you love your life, give me a
Yeah. So if you do love your life, just go ahead and hit that like button so we know that, hey, yeah, I love my life. Do you love your life?
But I gave commission.
Okay.
I don't like challenges.
You don't like challenges?
No, who does?
That's true. So what Serena said was this. Yeah, I love my life. I do. I absolutely love my life. I don't like challenges, but I love my life. Okay, so Serena, you have more challenges than most people, right?
You know what? I have different challenges.
You have different challenges.
I'm more on this.
Okay, so you said you don't have more or less. You have different challenges. And there are things in your life with your disability that make your challenges unique to you.
Yeah.
But yet, even with that, you love your life.
I'm not a possibility of life. I love making a possibility of reality.
So you love the possibilities of life. And you love making those possibilities a reality.
Yeah. With that comes shines up and down.
And with that comes challenges and ups and downs.
And what I'm going to is understanding that part of life.
And part of becoming amazing is understanding that that is a part of life. And there will be challenges and there will be ups and downs.
because I do even deal with my friend, but it's within it. It's within it.
Right. And so one of the things you know about life is that you have to deal with one obstacle after another. But in the end of it all, when you come out the other side, it's all worth it.
Even
Even if you want to go on vacation, you're so right.
You want to spend your whole life? Yeah. We're definitely listening. I want to spend your whole life.
All right. So Serena said, let's say that you want to fly to, say, Hawaii. Oh, darn.
I know, I go every year.
Yeah. Serena said he loves Hawaii. He does. He goes every year.
But it's pretty but
is it pain in the tootie?
Yeah, getting got with the airport.
Right. So Serena said this is what makes it a pain. You have to get in the car, you have to drive to the airport, which, by the way, for some of you out there, that doesn't sound like a big deal. For us, where we live, the airport is really about 40 miles away, but that 40 miles could be an hour, or that 40 miles could be 2.5 hours. It all depends on the time of day.
They have construction at the airport.
Yeah, do they have construction at the airport? How's the parking situation at the airport?
Yeah. Or TSA lines.
Yes, the TSA lines.
Do
they make you take off your shoes, Serena?
No,
you have pre-check. Okay, because you're smart.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. $150. Best $150 you ever spent? Yeah. So Serena's that person. Yeah. So you tell them you can't, and they tell you, okay, no problem?
Yeah.
So you play the handicap card.
But I do get a pat down every time.
But you always get a pat down.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Serena said, I don't know if you noticed, but my wheelchair is made of metal. So it makes it just a little hard to get through a metal detector, just a little bit. But back on track. So you have to do all of this just to get on the plane.
Yeah, and then when you're done, you have to get a cab.
Right, and then when you land, you have to find a cab, you gotta get your baggage. You have to check into a hotel.
Yeah, all the stuff, and then you're there. I mean, because you love so much, as soon as you're on beach, everything else does not matter.
Right, and so Serena said, look, you have to go through all this stuff to just get yourself set up. But then when you're there, you're sitting on the beach, and because you love it so much, none of that stuff matters anymore. You go, and you forget about all the pain and, well, I shouldn't call it pain and suffering, but just all of the gyrations that you had to go through just to make it happen.
And then, you know what? Because you went through all that, you enjoy it more.
And because you went through all of that, you enjoy it more.
No. I'm going to live life just like other, alright?
Serena said, look, I want you to love your life the same way I love being in Hawaii.
I want you to accept that. You have to wait every day in order to get to that place.
So you want us to accept and embrace our challenges every single day so we can get to that place?
Yes, but I'm ready to be committed to the process.
And that takes being committed to the process.
Yeah. I'm being committed. I never enough
Alright, so let's make sure this is clear. Loving your life does not mean that you're going to love every little part of it. That's what you said, right? Yeah, and that's true. Like, I love my life. I love my marriage. There's so many things I love. I love my kids. I love my house. But trust me when I say, there are things that drive me absolutely nuts. I'm sorry, repeat that, please.
No matter how much you there are things that you're not gonna love.
Right, so Serena said this, no matter how much you love your life, let's just tell the truth, there are going to be things about it that you don't love. It's just that simple.
It's interesting.
That's interesting.
I love myself.
You love yourself.
But guess what? The first I need to improve.
But you recognize that there's parts of yourself that you need to improve.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Okay. There are times that we choose.
Alright, Serena said, look, and you're probably not going to believe this, but it's completely true. There are challenges in your life, there are challenges in our lives that we have chosen.
In fact, most of the challenges of me did you choose?
I'm sorry.
Most of the challenges
Most of the challenges
that we have,
we choose.
Yes. So for example, my life is not challenging because of disability.
Your life isn't challenging because of your disability.
My life is challenging because I have a minimum ability. So that is challenging.
Right, so what Serena said was this. His life isn't challenging because of his physical disability. His life is challenging because he has chosen to have dreams, to have goals, to have aspirations in spite of that disability. And if you decided to just sit around and be a bump on a log, then you wouldn't have so many challenges. But because you've decided to do something, now you've introduced challenges into your life. You know what you're saying?
No. I is tiny, but more than to become amazing.
Right. So what Serena said was this. Don't get this twisted. Don't be mistaken here. Serena's challenges, his disability does pose challenges. But
what makes my life even more challenging?
But what makes Serena's life even more challenging
is I choose to live an amazing life.
Is that Serena chooses to live an amazing life. I have an example.
Yes.
It's like being a parent. Think about your life. If you're a parent, you can relate to this. If you're not, this is a point of information for you. Before being a parent, it's pretty easy. You have one person, maybe two if you have a spouse, to think about. That's it. You get up in the morning, you do your routine, your spouse does their routine, off you go. No worries. Am I right? You want to go out at night, the two of you decide to go out, one of you decides to go out, whatever, no worries. You introduce one or two children into that situation, and wow, complications, challenges arise. I mean, we've gone from just having to take care of, one person who's fully functioning, who's fully able to do everything for themselves and make decisions for themselves and think through things, to now having to take care of one or two people who are dependent, completely dependent upon you and can't make a decision, have no idea as to how things are working. They don't, am I making sense?
Yeah, I could become no nobody told me to become speaker. Awesome.
Right. Nobody told you to be a speaker or an author. Nobody told me to be a parent. But when you introduce these things
nobody told you to be.
yeah, nobody told you to be a parent. Nobody told you to go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so when you introduce those things, now college, of course, is no longer a challenge because that's finished. But you wanting to be a speaker and have your own company, you chose that. And now you chose those challenges.
No, nobody believed me. I just didn't do anything.
Yeah, Serena said nobody would blame him if he didn't do anything.
I could go to mom one day. I could go to mom one day a week.
Yeah, he would go to the mall once or twice a week.
While I didn't go traveling, and nobody would say, oh my goodness, you missed the part. You should be a speaker.
It's kind of true. So Serena said, look, if he were to live his life and just go to the mall and go out to dinner and, go traveling here and there, nobody would say, oh, he's not doing anything with his life. Nobody would blame him. Nobody would say anything, really, right? But you decided to do something with your life.
Yeah.
Your choices lead to the life you have.
And if you don't live your life, you need to make better choices.
And if you don't live your life, then you need to look at your choices.
So it's not you become other jobs.
Yeah.
You choose to stand there and drop.
So here it is. Serena said, hey, look, let's say you have a dead-end job. Let's just make that assumption. You have a dead-end job. If you're choosing to stay there, that's your choice. And if you don't like your life, and you don't like your job, and you're choosing to stay in it, well, that's your choice.
I'm believe in social development.
Serena said he is a big believer, huge believer in his trip of personal development.
We do.
Yeah, and it's kind of a good thing that he's into that because that's kind of like what he does.
But if you don't partake it and you don't do that, actively,
If you're not
actively,
active in personal development,
that's your choice.
yeah, that's your choice.
You're not also making ordinary book here.
Okay, so that's a scary thought, but I'm going to repeat that
Yeah.
because I'm hoping that the people who are watching this will take that as a personal challenge. And here it is. Most Americans will not read a book. A book. Let me repeat that. A singular book this year.
Most of the Bibles don't get past the first chapter.
Serena said that most people who buy books don't get past the first chapter. So let's go back to that. Most Americans will not read that's singular, one book this entire year. So hopefully if you're watching this, you take that as a personal challenge to rise above, to be the cream in that crop, to rise above and read more than one book, to read a book, and preferably, can we get to 2 this year?
I do for you.
Yeah, Serena does 40 to 50 books a year.
Yeah.
I do like 6. And I'm really it's kind of sad that I'm doing well to get the 6 in, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But that's scary that people aren't reading.
There are opportunities everywhere.
And there are opportunities everywhere.
If you go to I do online.
If you
If you go and
Yeah, so Serena said if you go to Google and just do a quick search on how to make money online. Yeah, you'll be able to find something intriguing.
So I choose you, but that you choose the life that you have.
That's right. You choose the life that you have. Serena, I love that. That whole personal responsibility component is just, I don't want to say it hits home, but it's one of those things that I think makes you think about, hey, if I don't like it, it gives you some kind of agency over your life. You're not a victim.
Yeah, let's say that you do, that you don't choose.
Right, there are some challenges that you don't choose.
That's
Okay, we can talk about this.
I did not choose to be handicapped.
You didn't choose to have cerebral palsy?
I did not choose to have a speech impediment.
You didn't choose to have a speech impediment?
Yeah. If you grew up in a visa home, or creative home, or a cat home, you did not choose that.
Right, so Serena said if you grew up in a difficult home as a child, that's not something that you chose.
If you grew up in bad neighborhood, that's
right. If you grew up in a less than desirable neighborhood, it's not, a bad neighborhood. That's not your choosing. But what you do with that experience, that is your choosing.
No, I like to say.
What do you like to say?
There's reality and your reaction to reality.
Right. There's reality and your reaction to reality. There's a situation, and then there's your reaction to that situation.
What are you going to react? How are you going to react?
Yeah, how are you going to react? And it's...
I don't know, that's what she can't words.
You learned that from whom?
When she can't words.
Your...
Two
greatest teachers?
Yeah, Mom and Dad.
Your parents?
Yeah, you get when my mom opinions, they did not expect that I would be able.
Right, your parents, they brought you home from the hospital. They were not expecting to have a child. Right, your parents didn't expect to have a baby with cerebral palsy,
yeah.
And they had no idea that you even had until what, you were 2, 3?
Yeah, 2.
2.
They said it was wrong, but they said that we've been to US, I would be good.
Right, Serena said, they knew something was a little not the way they expected for it to be, right?
Yeah.
But they thought they'd come to the US, get a shot, little therapy, and off you go.
What they did when they found out was amazing.
But
what they did when they found out was amazing.
But what they did when they found out was amazing.
They were committed to provide me and my sister a good life.
Yeah, they were committed to providing a good life for Serena and his sister.
And they took challenges.
Right, they took on challenges. In fact, even that, the immigration, that they introduced challenge into their lives.
Yeah, it's funny. My wife,
right, your wife is from the Philippines.
And right now she can call her father for free.
She can call her father for free?
Family.
She can call her family for free?
back then it was $2
Yes, back then it was $2 a minute.
Yeah.
And $2 was $2. Like, it wasn't like now it's like, oh. No, back then $2 meant something.
Minimum wage.
Yeah, that minimum wage was $2?
Well, but I'm not $2.
Yeah. Minimum wage is like $2. That's right. When I was in high school, it was like a whole $4.25.
Yeah.
That was the 80s.
The more change for my mom, that was more change. There was a lot of change. There was a lot of change.
There were
a lot of change.
A lot of little challenges.
And there
Right, so your mom really couldn't talk to her family. She would have to save money to be able to afford to talk to her family back home, which I guess pushes you to be more, it pushes you out over here.
I moved that way in here, and we were Irish, right?
Right.
At that time.
Right, and Serena's dad was an engineer, but because this was like 79, nobody would hire an Iranian, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So your dad?
Did whatever he did.
Yeah, he did whatever he needed to do.
Yeah. And then even you better understand.
Right, he was able to work in restaurants, he eventually bought his own restaurant, and was able to provide for his family.
Yeah.
But even with doing that, now that you're working for yourself, it's a whole new set of challenges that you've introduced because of the goals that you have. But if you don't do this, and you have the bump on the log life where you don't introduce challenges, where you don't set goals, where you don't work for them, then would you be happy with that life? Like, would your dad have been able to provide for his family the way he wanted to if he didn't introduce the challenge of being a business owner?
No.
Now.
But he didn't want to provide a good life for my kids.
But, I'm sorry?
He doesn't provide a good life for my kids.
He bought the restaurant so he could provide a good life for his wife and kids?
Yeah, that's why he loves life.
And that's why he loves life?
Yeah. He loves the idea.
He loves the idea?
Yeah. And that's the whole point. Even though the idea of being amazing.
You may love the idea of being amazing.
Yeah. You have to love the idea of being amazing.
You have to love the idea of being amazing.
If you don't, you'll love your life.
And if you don't, then you don't love your life.
I was not the idea of being becoming.
I'm sorry.
I love the idea of becoming.
You've always loved the idea of creating a big company.
Yeah. And I love the creative process.
You love the creative process.
I love working with my team.
You love working with your team.
I love it all.
You love it all.
But you love every single challenge.
But do you love every single challenge?
No. But I could.
But you chose.
But
you chose the challenges that you have.
So, you know what's funny, Julia?
What?
Every time I have an issue with my breathing, I'm on this situation. You tell me why.
So Serena said this, every time I have an issue in my business, I want to sit there and say, it's not fair. But
then, you know what, nobody told you to do it 100%.
But then, you flip it around, excuse me, and you think to yourself, hey, nobody told me to do this. Nobody told me to be an entrepreneur.
So, I need to find a way.
Yeah, so with that being said, you need to find a way.
Yeah. That's when I love my life.
And that's when you love your life. And you want all of you, Serena wants all of you to do the same. You know, there are challenges and you embrace them and you work with them. One of the things you talk about too, Serena, is that when those challenges happen, you don't overcome them. You kind of embrace them and you work through them or you work around them, but you find a way to meet your goal even in the presence of those challenges.
The problem that I use we have to meditate.
Yeah, Serena said, look, the problem he sees is that many people have this mentality of either it's a win or it's a loss.
Did we win the game or not?
Yeah, did we win the game or not?
Did we win it or not?
Did we make money or not?
Did we win love or not?
Did we win at love or not?
But it's unworthy.
But you can't really look at it as a zero-sum type deal, right?
Yeah, because it's zero-sum in the short term.
Yeah, it might be zero-sum in the short term.
But it's never zero-sum. It's never zero-sum.
Right, but in the long term, it's never that simple. It's never, yes.
If I deal with it today,
Someone said, look, if I deal with my disability today,
I succeed today.
And I succeed
Today.
in spite of today,
Guess what?
Guess what?
Tomorrow's the handicap.
Tomorrow, he's still handicapped.
So if you anxiety,
Yeah, let's say you have anxiety.
and you deal with it today, it's okay today.
Yeah, and you deal with it today, and it's okay today.
Tomorrow, something to contribute.
Right, tomorrow something stupid could trigger it, and where are you?
That means understanding what you're doing, trying to
Right, so someone said, look, loving your life means understanding that you're going to have to deal with challenges. That's just it. You're going to have to do it. But, I mean, let's just face the fact. You're not the first person to deal with challenges, right?
No issue, and that's another issue. I could go to mall right now.
Alright, so I said, look, I could go to the mall right now.
And I don't want to see anybody with CP.
And you wouldn't see anybody with CP. Yeah, the odds are really good that you wouldn't see anybody with CP.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I know that.
Right, and then you could believe to yourself, oh my goodness, this is just me. I'm the only one out here. I'm the lone man in this ocean with CP.
And guess what?
Guess what?
It gets even worse.
It gets even worse.
Because you trouble with anxiety.
I'm sorry? Yeah, let's assume that it's not CP that you have. What if it's anxiety that you have?
And you go out and say, oh my goodness, nobody else has anxiety.
Yeah, you could easily just be like, this is all me. Nobody else has this problem. And especially like anxiety, because whereas CP is something that you can see oftentimes. Maybe not always, but I would say at least 98% of the time you can see it. No, I'm just guessing. I'm guessing. No, this is like, I'm just saying, most of the time.
I'm listening
No, this is not a scientific statement, not even trying to make it sound that way. I'm just guessing that most of the time you can see it, or oftentimes you can see it. Right. Whereas anxiety, it can be hidden, right? Right.
And then growing up home.
Growing up in an abusive home.
Or insecurity.
Right, or insecurities.
And if you sit down and read that, you see everybody has their own issues.
That's right. And that's such a good point, because I know I have been there thinking that everybody else had everything perfect. That everybody else had life all figured out. They were living and life was just falling into this perfect little picture for them. And for me, it wasn't exactly like that, because you have to live your own life and you know your own reality, right? And so I'm sit there and I look and say, wow, how's everybody else doing that? But the reality is, nobody's is perfect. Everybody has a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody has a certain sense of insecurity.
But that doesn't mean that you will do insecurities.
Does that mean?
That means that you deal with insecurities.
Right. If you love your life, you're going to have to deal with those insecurities, because they are part of who you are. So you're going to have to deal with it and work through it so you can learn, hey, you know what? My life is awesome and I love it.
My baby is part of me is insecure. Part of me.
So we're going to say his belief is that part of amazing success
is minimizing your challenges and maximizing your blessings.
Is minimizing your challenges and maximizing your blessings.
Or your talent.
Or your talent, or whatever you call it. So you view your challenges small. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
But you view your blessing or your gift as huge.
Yeah. Now, you don't know your challenge. You don't know your challenge. You just don't let get in the way. You don't let the things that they have on your life.
Right. So sort of said, look, it's not that you ignore your challenges or you tell yourself they don't exist. That's not it at all. Because, come on, you know they exist. You're living your life. You know it exists. But what it means is you aren't dwelling in that space. You aren't living in the space of, oh, woe is me. Look at this challenge I have. Instead, you're looking with joy and excitement and anticipation at the gifts that you have, at the blessings that you have. Is that what you're saying, Serena?
Yeah. You know what? The idea it's not good. It's not good.
Right, Serena said there's days when all he has to do is sit still and think about his disability, and it's just not perfect.
But the idea is more ridiculous.
But then there's other days where it's more of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Just that way of viewing things. Chris and I, my husband and I had this discussion recently, and I have a high schooler and a middle schooler. And when they were little, I would view so much of what I had to do for them as just that, something I had to do. But as time went on, I stopped looking at it as a challenge of something I had to do. And I changed that and said, hey, this is what I get to do. And just that one little shift changed the whole thing from looking at, making lunches and doing laundry and doing this as a big challenge of the day to looking at it just as like we were talking about, like a blessing. And That's made it easier to love that life.
And I think you need to get something something that you have to deal with in order to get what you want.
There's something to deal with in order to get what you want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to deal with my degree, marketing, everything, other stuff, in order to get what I want, but I love the ending, so I love the ending so much that I'm ready to go to other stuff.
Right, Serena said, you have to do, oh gosh, I think I have it wrong now. Okay, you have to deal with things to get what you want, right? And you love your life so much that you're willing to do that so you can see the end game. Right. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because somewhere in there, we just got foggy brain. Sorry, Sarah.
It's that.
That's a challenge. Yeah, that's true. Anything. Even foggy brain.
You keep coming here.
Yeah, I know. But when the kids come, that's adorable.
Yeah.
They're adorable. That's how my daughter says it. She doesn't say they're adorable. She goes, they're adorable. Even though she's 13, they're still adorable.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, you want to recap?
Melonizing be committed to challenges.
Right, so loving your life means being committed to challenges.
It doesn't mean that you know every single challenge.
It doesn't mean that you love every single challenge.
But you have to committed to working through most of your challenges.
But you do have to be committed to working through most of your challenges.
And you gotta know, you gotta put like so much that you deal with your challenges in a better way.
Right, you have to love parts of your life so much that you deal with your challenges in a positive way.
I want you to do me some favors.
You would like some favors done for you?
Yeah.
All right. So listen everyone out there. Serena would like for you guys to do him some favors.
We the bug in the description of
The first favor is that if you look over there in that description, you'll see that there's a link to a blog. Serena said, go ahead and just read that. Just read it. It's not that long.
Yeah. Share it,
and then once you've read it, share it with others. Because when there's something good out there that you really like, you can't keep it to yourself. What kind of friend would that be? Yeah, and after you've done that, after you've read the blog, after you've shared it with a friend or two, or 10 or 20, then just go ahead and, go to serenab.com and check that out.
Yeah, I will see you next week.
Yeah.
I will see you next week.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to see you next week.
Thursday.
Probably on Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to see you early next week, Thursday.
Thursday. We can do it once.
Are you going to blame it all on me?
No.
We're going to summer hours, right?
Yeah, we're going to summer hours.
Summer hours. So we'll see you on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Go be amazing.